How's it going, everybody? This is Alex Caceres, and you're listening to Story of the Fight.
What's up, Will?
What up?
Welcome, everybody, to Story of the Fight. My name's Mairon. That's my boy, Will. We got another week of fights to talk about on Story of the Fight here. It is going down. Today we're going to be covering UFC 96, but before we... Oh, UFC Vegas 96. Vegas 96. Before we get going on that, though, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. We're trying to reach 15,000 subscribers. We continue climbing. We're past the 14,000. But you know what? If you don't like watching on YouTube, you'd rather, listen or watch on Spotify, where else could they find us, Will?
Yes, at Story of the Fight everywhere. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube Podcasts. Anywhere podcasts are found, we're there. Story of the Fight. StoryofTheFight.com lists everything. You can click through and subscribe and follow and check out our merch.
Yeah, there's a lot of options. Just find us somewhere. Oh, camera adjustment?
Camera adjustment. I got a new cage for the camera and filming a thing at the end of the month, so it's a little heavier, so it's sunk down. I had to fix it. You can see my monitor just a little bit right there. So
is that what that is?
We'll
you can barely even tell. But hey,
now you can.
Yeah, now that's all I'm staring at. No, but we had look, another Apex event. This one wasn't bad though.
Honestly, a lot of people were like, if I'm gonna rate this card right here, if I'm gonna give it a rating.
You're like, let me buy some time to think of a rating real quick.
Whoa, dude, what are we doing? Calling each other out? I'd probably give this like a 7.4.
Okay.
Very enjoyable. Some good fights, some good finishes, things like that. A lot of fights that ultimately don't mean much in the grand scheme of things, so that drops it a little bit. I'm gonna go 7.4.
Okay. If I were to rate this card right here, if I'm rating this one, I'm doing the same thing. I'm like, I didn't really think about it going in. But I'd say a 7.1.
Okay. We're pretty close.
Yeah,
I think that might be the closest. That might be the closest we've been since we started rating the cards.
Yeah, and I think that part of it too is like you have to take it for what it is, right? It's an Apex card, and that's what makes it so tough, right? Because you get like a big pay-per-view event, a lot of star power and everything, so you want to rank those a lot higher. But this, for it being an Apex card, it was better than mid. So
you're telling me that there's now a bell curve for if it's actual card versus their warehouse cards?
I think so. I don't know. And that's just because, again, for me, it's a lot easier on the pay-per-view events to rate them higher automatically. So maybe we start going like, pay-per-view versus pay-per-view. Like for this being a pay-per-view, this is how much I rate it.
2 categories.
For this being an Apex. And then no Apex, but like UFC Fight Night when they're out
on
traveling.
The road.
Yeah, on the road. Dude, they all have different ratings.
Pay-per-view, road card, Apex.
Yes, absolutely.
But then the problem is that means that the UFC has successfully beaten us down with mediocre cards that we're now scoring them as their own category instead of holding them to the standard that they should be.
Damn it, they got me.
They gotcha.
They got me, dude. It worked. Oh, man. But hey, let's cover UFC Vegas 96. We had Caio Borralho versus Gerald Cannonier. This was a very interesting matchup for me. Borralho coming in at 17-1. He's a very good prospect, right? With the Fighting Nerds, right?
Dude, the Fighting Nerds, man.
They're coming up.
They are here, dude. They're ready. Like all these guys and Bruno Brazil, they're all just taking the UFC by storm right now.
They are. And Gerald Cannonier has been a staple of the division for quite some time. I wouldn't necessarily say that he's like a gatekeeper, but
top of the belt.
Yeah. This was an opportunity for Borralho to just break into the top 5 really quickly. I think he came into this ranked 12th, if I remember correctly.
That sounds about right. Yeah, I'm not actually sure.
Right, I can try to look it up so we can have our information right. Yeah, Caio Borralho 12th, Gerald Cannonier 5th. So yeah, big matchup. And to your point, Will, like Gerald Cannonier fought for the belt, didn't win.
Close, man.
He was close, yeah. But he lost And so let's try to get some new blood in there and see if there's somebody ready to go in and battle in that top 5, right?
Yeah, basically. That's basically what this is, right? Even though it kind of sucks because, man, I did want to see Gerald versus DDP for the belt. I think that's a fresh matchup in a championship fight. I know we're doing a rematch instead, but I don't know. But that's not Borralho's fault, you know?
No.
For him, it's like, dude, I'm taking anybody I can up there.
He said fight or die.
He said fight
is
or
what
die.
he said.
He said, I'm a free spirit, dude. I'm not going to
You know what I mean?
slow me down.
Rich, our producer's probably in the background thinking, like, why are they saying these things? Rich, those are his tattoos, just so you know.
Yeah. And honestly, the first time I saw him, I was like, what are those tattoos? Every time I see him fight, I like him more and more.
Get out of here.
They're fucking horrible. But I don't know. They fit, dude. They just fit him. Like, it just makes sense to me now. Every time I see him, I'm like,
that's so funny.
Fuck yeah.
That's so funny. Now he got you.
He got me.
UFC got me. Borralho got you, dude. But hey, let's start talking about the fight here. Look, Borralho comes out stiff jab, and landing some heavy leg kicks that first round.
Yeah, and I was like, man, that's the game plan. If he sticks to that game plan, he's got this. And then Cannonier was like, hey, man, I've been there. I've done that. I've been jabbed. I've been leg kicked. I fought Izzy. Izzy famously beat him in the title fight with leg kicks. But, you know, he was there for it. Hey, shout out Ganskow in the chat.
What up, Ganskow?
He was there for it. He started switching stances. What I really liked, one of the things we've talked about before is like outside leg kicks are usually more debilitating than inside leg kicks. Inside leg kicks are effective for certain things, but as far as taking someone's leg out and hurting it long term for the fight, outside leg kicks are generally better. But when you have closed stances, you can throw that rear power leg to the outside of their lead leg. But if they're switching stances, now it's your lead leg that needs to be the outside kick. And that's something that both these guys did, where they would switch stances to throw the lead outside leg kick. And most people, once there's that stance switch, they stop throwing outside because they can't throw a lead leg outside kick. Both these guys did it, and I was like, fuck yeah, dude. The game's evolving.
Yeah, dude.
Like, it's important to be able to kick from both sides.
High level. Yeah. Both these guys are really high level. Let's fast forward to the third round real quick.
Wait, I want to say second round real quick. Okay. Because first round, I was like, oh, man, this might be a long night for Gerald. Second round, Gerald started walking forward. Excellent cage cutting where Borralho was up on the fence, darting left and right, and Gerald's just, nope, I'm just with you the whole way. I'm never following you. And he started putting on him a little bit. I gave him the second round. I thought they were split going into round 3.
He started extending some combinations too, which I really liked. And then he was doing like this hard step forward and coming in with the left, following up with the right, coming in with the left again. And then in that third round, he starts like feinting that step.
Yeah, yeah.
Like instead of like feinting like his entire body, he'd like just feint the step and come in a little bit, and feint the step and come in a little bit. On one of those, he feints the step, and then Borralho was like, I've seen this before. Dude, just a quick 1-2 right down the middle, wobbles Cannonier.
Yeah, wobbles Cannonier. Fourth round. Can we go back a picture, Rich, real quick? Fourth round, Cannonier started because the next picture is the start of the finishing sequence, just so Rich knows too. But fourth round, very even again. I was like, oh man, these guys might be alternating rounds. Cannonier lands a big left hook that literally just slices them right here. It was a bad cut. And I was like, oh, but then Borralho kind of had a good end of that round where he was landing that jab again. The jab was perfect for Borralho the whole entire fight. He kept landing that. But it got to the point where in that fifth round, the start of the fifth round, I was like, this might actually be like Cannonier might still be in this. Like he might not even need to finish. He might just need to win this round. Yeah. Take 3 out of phase 2 and 4, 1 and 3 going to Borralho. But you never know. But I was like, this is competitive, man. This is sick because a lot of people, I think after Borralho's last fight, were kind of tempering their expectations. For a while, they were like, this guy might be the future. And then it was like, oh, maybe not. Let's slow our horses down. Yeah. But then this fight, it's like, dude, he's fighting there with Cannonier, who's just he was so close to a title shot just recently. And he's really sticking it to him, holding his own, looking good, dude. And at that point, starting the fifth round, I was like, I fucking love this fight. Because each round had their own little special thing. Each round, in my opinion, went a certain direction. So there were alternating rounds. There was like specific things happening in each round that would sway it to each person. I was like, this is a great fight. It's a fantastic fight. And
It was
all
a
it
lot of
shows is
fun,
that,
man.
and all it shows is Cannonier is still there at 40. He's still at the top of the division at 40, and Borralho is right there with him. Both these guys, I think, are still at that level. But then the 5th round started.
5th round, man. Borralho, finally a level change.
Yeah.
Finally the threat of a level change. And it came in the 5th round, but it couldn't have come at a better time.
Yeah, it was really good because his grappling is phenomenal. That's like what
Mhm.
he's mostly known for. And up until that point, there'd been nothing. And you're like, hey man, even if you want to strike with him, maybe just show it. Make him think you're going to take him down. Don't let him get comfortable in a striking match. And then there was another one too, because a lot of times he would just throw the jab, he wouldn't throw the 2. Every once in a while, he'd throw the 2 behind it, and it was landing. But this time, oh my god! So there's the jab, and then here comes the 2 right behind it in this next picture.
Oh,
goddamn! And you see
beat
that
the bloody snot out of him.
Yeah, and you see that stagger where he leans forward and then just like, ooh, and then goes down, and you're just like, no,
like a tree.
Yeah, like a tree, dude. You got Steve Mazzagatti back there.
My
going,
God.
Oh shit! Hey, shout out Mario Yamasaki was reffing PFL.
Hey, let's go.
Come on,
is he still doing the little heart thing?
I missed it. I don't know. I just saw a photo of him in there. But yeah,
Brings back memories.
Cannonier falls down in slow motion. And I think it was Dan Murgliata was the ref in this one. Probably could have stopped it there, huh? When he went down like that.
Gave him every opportunity in the world.
Yeah.
Every opportunity in the world, dude.
Maybe too many in this one because he goes down, nasty 1-2. He goes down in slow motion. It's like a delayed knockdown, which is rough because then you know they're just like out on their feet. They're just like their weight distribution is what's keeping them up for so long. It's not because they're like conscious standing up, you know?
Yeah.
That's why you have to have a solid base, by the way, so that you don't go down immediately. He goes down after like a second, and then Borralho jumps on him. And oh my God, dude, the elbows that he was landing on him. You could have stopped it there. The ground and pound was so nasty, dude. And then he goes for the arm triangle. Cannonier does a great job defending the arm triangle.
Yeah, he did.
But the whole time he's in the arm triangle defending it, they check him a couple times to see if he's unconscious, and he's like, dude, just let me chill. I'm just trying to fucking figure out what's happening right now.
His arms are kind of stuck, right? Because of the positioning of the arm triangle. Like, and all he could do is just leave his thumb up like this.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm good.
Got the bubble. Yeah, they check him a couple times. He's still conscious. He's just trying to get his wits about him. Survives till the end of the fight because this was pretty much there was like a minute left, I think, when he got dropped. And you could see it. He gets up and he's just like, "Fuck!" He knows. It's like, damn.
He knew it. Yeah, he knew it.
Even if all things were aligning for him in this fight, the 5th round was up for grabs, making the win up for grabs. But that you're not going to win it with that in there. So it's like, even if the judges did see it my way, which they didn't, that round was the decider. And yeah, he dropped that one pretty bad. That's a 10-8 round, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. But to your point, he's still hanging in there at 40 years old against one of the fastest rising prospects in the UFC.
Yeah.
And then back to the Fighting Nerds. Dude, they're doing work right now.
Yeah.
Led by Borralho.
It really is, right? That's what it feels like. He was kind of the first guy to come in and be like, hey, guys, like, check me out.
Yeah, get
also
ready.
check everybody else. Yeah.
Get ready, y'all. No, that camp, though, it's awesome.
What a year they've had. I don't think they've had – I don't even know if they've had a loss this year. They got multiple wins. Like, most of their fighters have multiple wins. I don't know if anybody's lost.
Really?
I don't think so. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure everybody's just fucking sweeping up the competition. I mean,
sweet though, man.
Just last week we had Pratis knock out the Leech. We had John Silva taking out Drew Dober. Like, I mean, they're fucking
all of our favorites, dude.
Yeah, Bruno.
Fighting Nerds are just taking our favorites down.
To your point, Meatball Molly lost to Bruno Brazil. I know that's your girl.
No, not Meatball Molly. All right. That's it for the main event, though. You have anything else?
What's next? What do you think?
I mean, take a look at the top 5, right? I mean, that's all you can do from here.
Yeah, they're gonna do Duplessis versus Strickland. Whitaker's booked against Hamzat. Imavov.
Imavov?
he just beat Cannonier. It's kind of weird. I feel like it's kind of weird to have both of them fight when that's kind of sucks for Imavov.
True. Vittori
there, yeah. But then again, he just beat number 5. I wouldn't want to fight back down. Plus, Vittori just fought Brandon Allen. I'm worried that we're approaching a logjam at middleweight.
Yeah.
And they're doing a rematch for Duplessis instead of moving things along. Which I guess, I mean, Sean Strickland, he did beat Paulo, right? That was after he lost the belt. So, like, does that give you a title shot? Maybe you do Strickland versus someone for a number 1 contender. I don't know, because then there's Izzy now coming off a title loss. He's gonna have to fight somebody down, right?
Might as well, dude. Just do Izzy versus Borralho.
Oh, okay.
Just do it.
Fuck it. What about Imavov?
That's a great question. Just leave him there.
I'm worried we're about to get a logjam, dude.
Yeah, we are.
That's not good. Because if Hamzat beats Whitaker, I'm sure they want to give him a title shot. Maybe, I don't know if he even makes it to the fight. But then if Whitaker beats Hamzat, it's like, does he get the title shot? I don't know.
Hamzat versus dude. I had forgotten about Hamzat.
Yeah, most people did.
Jeez, poor guy's been out for a while.
Yeah, it's tough.
All right. Well, you know who didn't forget about him? Meerschaert. We'll talk about him later. But for now, we can go ahead and move on to the co-main event. We had Tabatha Ricci versus Angela Overkill Hill.
Yeah, that's my girl, Angela Hill. I fucking love Angela Hill.
She's awesome.
I don't care. Some people might not. Did you see the weigh-ins? She walks up and she like looks down at Tabatha and she's like, whatever. And she pulls her pants down.
Yeah. Look at the picture, dude. It's so funny.
Fucking hilarious, dude.
That is pretty funny.
I'm glad there was a photo that actually showed it because I watched it and I was like, what the fuck, dude? And she's so funny, dude. She's cool as fuck. And she fights like a bat out of hell, dude. And she's up there too. Jared Cannonier is 40. Angela Hill's 39. At a low weight class like that to still be this competitive is fucking very impressive. It was a close fight, dude.
True. How old is Tabatha Ricci?
She's got to be young, dude. 29?
Yeah, 29. And dude, honestly, I could see it in this fight.
You could see it in this fight. A lot quicker.
Yes. Yeah, Ricci was blitzing in with her combos. She was very aggressive in the beginning. And the thing with Ricci is that when she was blitzing in, she was dropping her hands a little bit, right, as she's throwing the combos. And it was allowing Angela Hill to step in, counter, and then step back. She had like a lot of one-shot counters, right? And then Ricci would blitz in again, boom, quick right, and then she'd step back. But Ricci just kept on pressuring.
I think here's the thing. I haven't looked at the numbers, but it seemed like Angela Hill was landing the much cleaner shots throughout the fight. It did seem like she was throwing less. And I think the body language, it just like Dricus Duplessis, he looks exhausted sometimes, but then he still is like performing. It doesn't matter. But like the in between moments, he looks exhausted, right? And then when he throws, he looks fine, and then he's back. Well, he doesn't look fine. He looks like Dricus, but he looks like Dricus at least. Whereas every time he stops and he's just moving, he looks super labored. And Angela kind of had that going on in this fight where when she needed to be effective, she was effective. But then the in-between moments, her arms were dropping. She looked super tired. And the way she's moving is a little bit slower. And I feel like that may have cost her. Because I had her winning 2 and 3, I'll be honest.
Did you?
This was close. I did have her winning this fight. I'm not mad at the decision.
Angela Hill looked a lot slower in this fight. A lot slower.
Yeah, but I think she was slower, but still super effective. Like she
was lighting her up. Part of it was she was trying to get that timing down, maybe from Ricci's blitzes. I don't know what it was, but she would just be like,
she's 39
and just like throw this really slow, like straight, or it'd be a cross. She'd come through, but it'd be super slow, and Ricci's like, all right, just move out of the way, and then just.
She did outstrike her.
Yeah, I don't know. She just looked a lot slower.
So I pulled up the stats right now. You got. Round 1, 27-21 in favor of Tabatha.
Okay.
Round two was 44-35 in favor of Angela.
Okay.
Round 3 was 47-39 in favor of Angela.
Bigger shots than by Ricci?
I don't even think it's that. I think a lot of the shots that Ricci was landing seemed like they were kind of glancing like the collarbone first, or like it didn't seem like they were really like landing as well for me. And maybe I'm just biased because I do really like Angela Hill.
Yeah, because I feel like a lot of the shots at Angela Hill was she was throwing a lot of jabs to the chest.
Yeah,
I don't know if you noticed that too. While Ricci was blitzing in, she would land a jab to the chest a lot of times to slow her momentum down. So are those significant strikes that you just named off right now, or just overall strikes?
Those are significant. Overall was a little bit different. Overall, we had 51 to 44 in round 2, and then 54 to 54 total strikes in round 3. So yeah, I mean, the other thing is, I like this actually. If we're looking at the let's see. So round 2, 27 to 29 for head strikes in favor of Ricci, but 14 to 2 to the body in favor of Angela. So so they were neck and neck for headshots, but then completely destroyed her in the to the body. And then same thing with round 3, 29 to 35 in favor of Ricci to the head, 18 to 2 to the body in favor of Angela. So she was mixing her target up a lot more. So maybe that's what they're counting, those chest shots, not necessarily like shots to like the liver and stuff where you traditionally like target the body.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, overall, I thought this was a really fun fight.
It was.
And it's not a robbery.
To 500, huh? On a record, 17 and 14.
And how many of those are split decisions, man? How many of those are split? It's crazy.
A lot of them that could have gone either way.
Yeah, I mean, for me, in my opinion, this was one of those. I will say, to your point, though, a lot of shots, I think both of them were landing to the chest, to the shoulder, and stuff. Going through the photos for this to pull for the slideshow, hard to find clean hits in this one.
Yes, she lost to Tisha Pennington by decision, Amanda Lemos by split decision, Janjiroba by unanimous decision, Mackenzie Dern unanimous decision, Michelle Watterson split decision, Claudia Cadelia split decision. Hey, if you're gonna bet, man, I would bet that this goes the distance with Angela Hill.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? Holy smokes! Decision. She had mounted guillotine choke against Luana Pinheiro.
Oh yeah, that was sick.
Yeah, but before that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11. Okay, I'm gonna stop counting, dude. There's decisions.
But what's crazy is a lot of people be like, "Oh, they're a decision fighter. They don't get finishes and stuff." Most of her fights are still fun, even though they go to decision. Like I'm still, anytime she's on a card, I'm like, that's probably gonna be a good scrap, you know.
So before the mounted guillotine that I just called out right now, it was 2020, the last time that she won by stoppage, ground and pound. And then before that, 2019, it was a doctor stoppage. Doctor stoppage she won by.
Damn.
Nice. Okay, well.
Yeah. Fun fight, though.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. All right. We can go ahead and move on. We had Ryan Loder versus Robert Valentin.
Yeah, this was the Tough finale, right?
Yep.
Did you watch Tough this season?
Not at all. Not a single minute.
Yeah, and I'm not going to until the UFC actually, if they want me to put effort into watch it, they need to put some effort into actually making it. That being said, that's no disrespect to the fighters that are on it.
You think the barber ran out of time before he could fade it? He's like, man, I'd like the line to go like right around here. And then he's like, oh, dude, I forgot. I got something to do here. Hey, come back later, huh?
Or like, the fight's in 20 minutes. You got to get over there.
Oh, man. But, dude, insane grappling exchanges in this fight.
This was how long was this? This fight was middle of the second round is when they stopped it. Phenomenal fight. This was awesome. Because you have Loder wrestling background. He wants to take this guy down. I saw highlights of Valentin on the season. Guy looks very fun. He's very fun to watch. He gets the takedown. He goes to like the scarf hold position, right? He tries to get that, not the straight arm. You can get the straight arm lock in scarf hold, but then you can also like bend their arm back. And then I forgot what it's called. But you trap it between your legs and you put some torque on it.
Like an armbar.
It's like an armbar, but it's almost like an Americana, or not, yeah, Americana. It's an arm lock. He tried to get it. It looked like he had it. Valentin goes for the sweep in it, and I'm pretty sure he tore up his arm doing that. Because he looked a little different after, and the angle, like the direction he had to go to hit that sweep with your arm in an arm lock, looked horrible. It looked brutal, man. But he gutted through it, and then he takes his back. Yeah, there's him going for the arm lock from Scarfold's such a cool position, man. You don't see it too much. Ayaka Miuri over in one hits it a lot and does some cool shit in scarf hold. We had Alexei Olenek in the UFC doing lots of stuff in the scarf hold. But this was cool to see. It was like a throwback. But then Valentin sweeps him, takes his back. It looked like he had the choke in, but you couldn't really see it with the camera. And I was like, oh my God, what a turn of fates. But then he didn't. And then I was like, oh my God, what another turn of face, because they go out for the second round. Loder takes him down and goes into that crucifix position. And it's just one of those.
Get out of it.
Yeah, it's like DC versus what's it called? No Time, Ozdemir. You get to that crucifix, and it's like you're fully conscious, but you just can't
Roy
do anything.
Nelson versus Kimbo Slice, you know?
Oh, look at you.
You remember that one?
Says,
back when Tough was good?
Back when Tough was good. Gansko says his arm had to be messed up because he wasn't even trying to get out of that crucifix. Yeah, you could see him bucking with his hips, but like not doing anything with the upper body to get out of it. And I'm pretty sure the arm was completely fucked after that.
Yeah, they're saying that they were icing the arm too.
Oh, really?
In between rounds. Yeah, that's one of the things that they said. They're like, yeah, they had a bunch of ice on that arm in between rounds. So
it looked nasty, man. It looked nasty. But
so
Loder
wins, huh?
Yeah, what a fun fight though, dude. You go take down to scarf hold to arm lock to sweep to back take to rear naked attempt to crucifix from the other side to finish on the crucifix. I mean, what a cool fucking fight. Just a fun grappling fight. So he is an Ultimate Fighter champion. And to my point earlier, the UFC, if they want me to put effort into watching Ultimate Fighter, they need to put effort in, like, actually having Dana White there to present the trophy to the winner of Ultimate Fighter instead of the ring girls. Because what the fuck? Dana's not even there to, like, bro, what?
Classic. Oh,
it's
man.
Like, if they're not taking it seriously, then, like, why would I? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I like Valentin's tattoos, though. Word on the streets is that translates to fight or die. Damn. And then the other side says free spirit. So, very, very similar to Borralho's. All right. We'll move on to the next fight. We had Mairon Santos versus Kaan Ofli.
Yeah.
Ofli.
And I was awfully glad to watch this fight because these guys I actually did watch.
Lord, no, you didn't.
Santos is Rich. All right, with the rim shot. Yeah, I think Santos was one that I was actually paying attention to. I wasn't watching the show, but I was watching him on it. This dude is a phenom, absolute phenom. He looks, for his age, he looks so comfortable in there, dude. Comfortable in weird positions, weird exchanges. His angles are good. This guy, I am very, very high on him. And Ofli is good too, man. This was a fun fight. It was a cool matchup. But Santos, I think he's just on another level, dude.
Super cool, calm, collected. He's a sniper. Yeah. Picks his shots very, very well. The jab, the calf kicks. Landed a couple of those kicks that knocked Ofli off his feet, right? That teep kick in the very front. The hip feint that he constantly kept on working that was throwing Ofli off. Like, you got some massive reactions.
Well, and you know why? Because the actual kicks were doing damage.
Yes.
We talk about it all the time. You can't just feint. You have to sometimes throw the strike that you're feinting. If you're feinting a leg kick, you better be also throwing leg kicks to make them respect that feint so that they are like, I can't not think about this feint. I have to respect this feint because the reality is he has been landing that strike and I need to address it. If I don't address it, I'm going to keep taking damage. And that's Santos perfectly with that. The feints were fantastic.
Very good. And, every once in a while, you kind of see a fighter where they're like, they have a game plan. Then they get kicked off their feet. They get teep kicked to the next entry. And then like, all these things are going on. And they're just like, look, I'm not going to win this fight like this. I'm going to go for broke right now. And I feel like that's what happened with Ofli at a certain point, because now he started coming in a little recklessly. You know, he was swinging for the fences, man. If he would have landed a few of those shots, maybe it would have made a pretty big difference, but he didn't.
No, he didn't.
Right? And Santos instead is the one that lands a massive shot.
Yeah, they both throw right hands. They miss with the right hands. And then obviously the follow-up is then to come this way with the left.
They both followed up with the left too.
Yeah, and Ofli, you can see he's just short. He was awfully close. And Santos actually lands it and completely slumps him. And he drops down to his knees, fully
This is the worst part.
Oh my God! Same thing with Cannonier, right? Where your base is too good, where you're not going to fall over one direction. So he drops straight down like a slinky, and Santos walks over, grabs him by the head, and
holds his head.
More shots.
Whack, whack, whack. Look at
dude is fully unconscious, just being kept up by just the distribution of his body. He's holding him up by the head and just keeps landing stuff. Nasty stuff, man.
Yeah,
nasty stuff. So Santos
legit holding his head in place, though.
Yeah,
because his head was down. He was like out, and he's like, no.
Yeah,
fixes his head from his forehead. Hits him a couple more times.
Brutal, dude. And then so Santos gets the Ultimate Fighter finale. He's the Ultimate Fighter at 145, and instead of Red De La Cruz there to present him his trophy, he got Brooklyn Red. So
beautiful.
Shout out for him.
Both women beautiful. So
yeah,
win-win.
Win-win.
All right. Now we can move on. Now that we're done with these tough finales.
Yeah.
But we had Michael Morales talk about a rising star, huh? Going up against one of the true gatekeepers, Neil Magny.
Test, man. This is the test.
Yes.
And this was, another Ultimate Fighter alum in Neil Magny, right?
That's
I like how they do that. Usually they stack. They put a lot of like Ultimate Fighter alums on the finale nights.
Yep.
So it's always cool when they do that. But yeah, like you said, Morales has been rising, passing every test, and it's like, all right, here's the real test. This is the real test. This is the ultimate gatekeeper in Neil Magny. I mean that with no disrespect. The guy's been there forever.
But we've talked about this before. Like Neil Magny is a lot of times those rising prospects. Somebody's trying to break into the top 15. They say, give them Neil Magny. Let's see if they're ready. Yeah, and then sometimes Neil Magny comes out victorious, and you're like, Neil Magny still got it. And sometimes
he just kept the gate. He against Mike Mallet, right?
Yes,
that was like the whole thing. He literally just did
it. And then sometimes you put him up against a Morales, whose skill level is out of this world, man.
Yeah, it really is, man. He's the complete thing. His calf kicks, just a couple calf kicks in this one, and Magny was like not in a good spot. There wasn't a ton of photos from this, so there's some screenshots that I put in from the fight just so we can actually like visualize what happened. But basically, Magny eats a bunch of calf kicks and gets him over to the fence, and he's holding him up against
I don't like this.
Yeah. And Morales does a fantastic job of fighting the hands, breaking the grip, pulling the left shoulder down with the wrist of the left arm, and then spinning out of the clinch, lands that spinning back elbow, wobbles Magny. Magny goes down, and Morales is like, this is my opportunity. Got to take out Neil Magny. Jumps on him and just beats him up. Magny did a decent job moving position to position, but Morales did an even better job of just following position to position and still landing those shots. And then flattens him out on his belly down. And then that's all.
Yeah, Neil Magny used the cage to kind of push off, right, to try to get out of it. And then, like, Morales gave him just enough space in between, his body and Magny's body to let Magny kind of push off, kick, and roll, and he ended up flat on his stomach. And Morales, that's what I wanted. And then he put all the pressure back down on him and just starts landing shots. And
very good, dude.
Very similar to the previous fight, holding his head in place to land some big shots, except Neil Magny was still conscious.
Yeah, just couldn't get out, dude.
Yeah, tough. But what a phenomenal performance. So now this means we have Morales breaking into the top 15.
He passed the gate, man.
He did. What do you do with Neil Magny? You just drop him down one spot so he's still a gatekeeper in the top 15?
Yeah, okay, here we go. I was like, I think it was last week, Carlos Prates got that win over the Leech, and I was like, all right, it's time to get him in the rankings, right? And I was like, give him Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland's 15. That's a fun fight, stylistically matchup. But then Holland is fighting your boy, right? Delidze up at middleweight. Magny versus Prates. They fought a week apart. Turnaround time might be a little bit longer for Magny, but then let's keep this gate again. See if you can keep it against Pratis. You know,
I like it. That's a good idea. All right. Well, props to Mr. Morales there.
Yeah. What do you do next for him, man? I think it's off to the races with Morales at this point.
So
Once you get past Magny,
man,
it's off to the races.
Listen to this. You got Joaquin Buckley, Jeff Neal, Steven, Wonderboy Thompson, Sean Brady, Ian Machado, Gary, Gilbert Burns. It's such a fun division right now.
Give me Morales versus Jeff Neal or Joaquin Buckley.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
I like it.
That's what I want.
Sign him up now.
Why the fuck is Colby Covington still in the top 5 of that division? What is happening?
America's welterweight, dude. Keep him there. Keep him there.
Damn.
All right. We'll move on, man. From some fast rising prospects to Shahbazyan versus Meerschaert.
At one point, a fast moving prospect in Edmen Shahbazyan.
Yeah.
Man, this fight is the ultimate Meerschaert fight. It is ultimate Shahbazyan fight. Both of them to a T. You couldn't watching this. I was like, man, I should put some money on Meerschaert by finishing this one, man. Because leading up to it, this is kind of similar line of thinking with this fight and the Magny fight. I was like, man, is Magny going to gatekeep again against this top prospect? I don't think so. I think it's going to be. There's 2 types of Magny fights. There's the fights where he holds the line, and then there's types where someone blows right through. And I was like, this is probably one of the ones where they blew right through. And I was like, there's 2 types of Meerschaert fights, and there's 2 types of Shahbazyan fights, and I think we're going to get this one for both of them.
Man.
Very fun fight.
Yeah, if anybody was like, hey, tell me about the career of Shahbazyan and tell me about the career of Meerschaert, you're like, just watch this fight.
Yeah, it explains everything. That's all you need to know. Because, all right, let's get into it for people who don't know. But first round, Shahbazyan looking very good.
Yep.
Very good.
That straight right, man.
The straight right is good. The kicks from distance are good. Meerschaert just a little bit too slow to kind of hang in there with the striking. Getting lit up a little bit. And then, it's got to be a 10-9 for Shahbazyan, right? And then round 2.
Easy, dude. And, call out real quick, Meerschaert.
Yeah.
With the rangefinder that he does, he would never do a single rangefinder. He would always go like this, and he'd either double up the rangefinder or he'd go like this and bring it back out. And so every single time you go rangefinder, Shahbazyan would then follow it up with the straight right.
Yeah, he's like, you want to hang that out here? Get ready for this.
Yeah, but I saw that and I was like, dude, that's something that they definitely saw in film where they're like, hey, he's going to throw the rangefinder. As soon as he does, you have a window.
Yeah.
Right? And it was working beautifully.
Yeah, and then they step in the second round. They step in. Shahbazyan goes underneath the uppercut to the body, cracks him right in like the solar plexus. Wasn't even to the liver or anything.
Oof.
And Meerschaert stumbles, and you're like, oh, he's hurt to the body. He kind of curls, and then they step in again, and Shahbazyan throws that knee to the body, and it just drops Meerschaert. And this is the crux of what type of fight it's going to be. Is it going to be one of those fights where Meerschaert gets dropped and finished? Or is it going to be one of those fights where someone tries to finish him and they slow down and Meerschaert pulls it out? And is this one of those times where Shahbazyan gets a nice finish? Or is he going to gas out because he goes a little too hard and then gets finished himself? And we got it. Because
Ganscow called this too. He said this was predictable.
Nailed my pick. Yeah, I had Meerschaert by finishing this one for sure. And it's pretty much, if we did a preview for this, I would think, I think Shahbazyan's probably going to hurt Meerschaert, and then he's going to gas out trying to finish him, and then Meerschaert's probably going to sub him. And it's like, and it sounds too specific, but it's happened so many times for both of them that it's really not that crazy of a pick to be like, I'm pretty confident this is exactly how this fight is going to go. And Meerschaert, to his credit, there was a couple times where, and who ref this? Was this Mark Smith? I think it was Mark Smith. Yes, Mark Smith. Fantastic job reffing this. Yeah. Because every time he was like, hey, man, I'm about to stop this. Show me something. Meerschaert would. Yep. He's covering up. He's surviving. A lot of these shots weren't really getting through. And he would switch to a hit. He would switch to his hip and get the feet on the hips and push away. He'd go turtle. Like he would move the very last second. Right when it's about to get stopped, he would move to a new position. And that's not easy to do when there's just a barrage of strikes, because you still have to be defending yourself in that. So you're almost like, I only have half my body to work, because if I start working with my upper half, I'm going to start eating these punches that I'm blocking right now. But he was still there the whole time. He gets up, he hits this awesome takedown where he shoots through on the single, hops around the side, changes the angle, takes him back in towards the middle of the cage. Fantastic takedown. Ends up in half guard on one side, gets the arm triangle in, uses his legs to pummel to hop over to the other 3/4 mount and just pin him down. At this point, Shahbazyan's exhausted. So he doesn't even have to hop off to side control, because sometimes you hop off fully to side control and you can almost escape if you're in the choke. But he stays in that 3/4 mount, the half guard, and just keeps him pinned there, because he's like, this guy's exhausted, man. I don't have to get the choke all the way in. And Shahbazyan fought it for a little bit, but he was, kind of grimacing and stuff. And he's like, fuck, here we go. This is my career.
Just a flashback to all the other fights that ended the exact same way.
Brutal, dude.
I know, man. I know.
But Meerschaert, man, fucking love him.
What a heart.
Most finishes in middleweight division history. He passes Anderson Silva with this one. How crazy is that?
Just like everybody predicted when they first started seeing Meerschaert, dude. Like, this guy will hold the record for most finishes in that division.
Yeah, he'll pass Anderson Silva. Did you see? They were talking. They asked him about, because I don't know if you saw at the PFL, Marvin Vettori and Brendan Allen got in a fight at the PFL at the casino.
Oh yeah.
And they're like, "Hey, what do you think about that? You trained with him?" He's like, "What? No, it must have been someone that looked like him. We were at my house. We were fucking." It's so funny, dude.
That's awesome, dude. That is
just
awesome.
Totally covering for his boy.
Great question from Ganskow. You want to read it off?
Yeah, he says, would you rather have the prelims move right along and have a big gap before the main card starts for a pacing slow, or a pacing so slow there's only 1 minute of actual fights during the first hour? I think they need to get away from main card and prelims. I think they just need to do it like one does it, where it's just one fight card, no gap, because then there's no... One was doing this for a while, where they'd have prelims, they'd have the lead card, they'd call it, and then their main card. But what ends up happening is, say your prelims start at 3, and then your main card starts at 7, like the UFC does. That's now 4 hours that you need to fill, because you can't... If every fight finishes in the prelims, and you now have 2 hours to kill because you have an advertised start time of the main card, you can't start that early. If you start that early, there's people who are going to tune in at 7 and be like, what the fuck? I missed like the whole first half of the card because you guys started it early. So if you just get rid of the prelims, get rid of the main card, you just have one lead card or one full card, say this is when it starts, jump in when you jump in. Now we don't have to do any of this bullshit. They won't do that because the UFC actually makes more money when the prelims end early, and there's a lot of time they can throw ads in. They make more money. What do you think? I kind of just took that question.
I'm with you. Ganskow says I kind of like the halftime. I can go eat, grab beer, or whatever. That does sound like a good time too, though.
Not bad.
Yeah, but I mean, even then, right? Like, if you wanted to go grab a beer, go grab some food, it's not like you. I feel like you still have about 5 minutes in between fights with one, right? Like, you still have the walkouts. They still have the post-fight interview. You still have all these different things. So, yeah, you have a little bit of time there. But man, it's brutal sometimes. When a fight ends early and you're just waiting and you see the same commercials over and over again. By the way, last night, whoever was choosing the music before y'all went to commercial break.
Dude, no, they've been doing this the past 3 events. They've been having they had a Simple Plan cover of a Lion King song. And I was like, what the fuck is happening? What year is it, first of all? And why is Simple Plan covering Disney songs? What the fuck is happening? And why is it playing in a UFC? Like, what? It's so weird, dude. I don't know what's going on over there.
Which the song that they were playing, was that from Lion King? Yesterday? No,
I don't remember which one it is.
No, yesterday was from a Goofy movie.
I haven't seen that forever, dude.
Oh, dude, it's been so long. But I heard that, I was like, is that the song from a Goofy movie? Dude, they played it over and over and over again.
It is Disney. It is Disney.
I guess, dude. Over there, you have Santos just beating the brakes off of Ofli, holding his head, punching. I mean, it's just like this Disney music going into the break. Come on, what are we doing? All right.
Oh, my God.
We'll move on. We had Francis Marshall versus Dennis Buzukja.
Yeah. This was originally supposed to be a different matchup for Dennis. Dennis is like a highly touted prospect with like Aljamain Sterling and those guys. Has looked really good up until this point. Fire Marshal came in and said, "I don't give a fuck, dude. I'm just gonna outwork you in this fight.
Yep.
I don't care if you're supposed to be the slicker guy training with the former champ, all this stuff. I'm just gonna outwork. And that's what he did.
Dude, Buzukja coming in
Yeah.
like really wide in the beginning with his hooks.
I think he
And
thought
Marshall was
maybe, hey, this guy isn't ready for me in the UFC. He took this on short notice. I'm about to steamroll this guy. And yeah, Marshall was like, I'm not having any of that. He started timing the low kick.
Yeah, dude. It was a good fight. You know, Buzukja started to settle down.
Yeah.
As they got into the second round, it became a lot more competitive. Buzukja started landing some of his own shots as well. He started countering a bit more.
He did find the rhythm later in the fight really well.
He did. And then the third round almost turned into whoever goes first loses, because it was like whoever would go first and the person would step back and counter. And so I was like, okay, usually it's whoever goes first wins. In this case, it was like whoever was going first was getting countered pretty easily. But it turned into a fun fight.
Yeah, that big knockdown off the hook from Marshall was sick. That I think it was a right hook that he threw, like a rear hand right hook up against the fence that dropped Buzukja. Great resolve from Buzukja. But this is just a fun scrap, dude. This is like, and good for both guys. You know, Marshall takes the win. I think he was starting to kind of run away with it towards the end of the fight, but Marshall did such a great job early in the fight to just put in work and kind of steal the fight. Not steal the fight, but there was a lot that Buzukja was going to have to do to then get the win based off of what Marshall was doing early in the fight. A lot of like takedown attempts, grinding up against the fence, the knockdown. Like it's a lot to overcome all that. And Buzukja looked like he was kind of on his way to do that, but it wasn't enough.
Wasn't enough.
But good for both these guys to get some octagon time. You know, kind of get a feel in there and just learn. They could both learn a lot from this fight. I think this is going to be good for both guys.
For sure.
That's a cool picture.
Well, we have 3 fights left to cover here. We're coming up on an hour. We'll cover these rather quickly, though. This one was fun for me. Zach Reese. I love watching Zach Reese, man. He reminds me of our boy Landry Ward.
He does remind me of Landry Ward. Yeah.
Doesn't he?
Yeah. And Medina reminds me of, you know, what those things that you get like in the gym where you hang it from the ceiling and it's just like this big, long, like heavy bag.
Yeah. What do you call those? Oh, punching bags.
Yeah. No disrespect to Medina, but what the fuck is happening, dude?
Dude, hey, but he's tough as nails, just like the punching bags.
100%.
Reese hadn't been out of the first round yet in his career, right?
Correct.
Super explosive in that first round.
His kicks, man.
His kicks are nasty. Kept on getting Medina right to the midsection with those kicks. They sounded awful and painful.
Yeah, horrible.
Reese had a simple takedown in that first round, just a simple trip as he's pushing Medina back. Landed a little bit of ground and pound, but it was a fun first round.
Fun first round for one guy. Yeah. I was like, let me just look at what the stats were. 34-4 in that first round. And I felt bad going through these photos. I was like, man, all of these showcase what Zach Reese is doing. Rich, can we just go through the next couple so we can get some Medina highlights in here? Oh, wait. First off, this is not a real choke. There's nothing here. I don't know what the fuck's happening here. But here's some Medina highlights from the fight.
Yeah, he was really happy. Yeah, there was one where he blocked a body kick, right?
Oh, we're back to Reese highlights.
he blocked the body kick, and he looked at Reese, was like, no, and like points at the ground, like, no, let's scrap, dude, you know? And he was like, what are you trying to do, dude? Like, come on. And then the next one, Reese comes in, slower though. Like the lead of the kick was a little bit slower, and then he whipped it up top. Yeah. And then was like, oh, he can kick up top too.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Look.
Yeah. I mean, that's about the only. I mean, I don't know what else we can say about this fight other than what Ganskow's saying. This was a very winnable fight for Medina, but it's just this is what we got now in the UFC.
But I'm here for it, dude. Reese is so much fun to watch.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. It's fight.
Yansky was saying when Reese would put his hands on his shorts, Medina would point at it.
Yeah, maybe throw a punch at that point.
I
I mean, just I don't know. I was not as excited about this fight as you were.
I enjoyed it.
I fully circled this fight so that I could shit on it for 5 minutes, and then
I'm over here like, this was fun. This was fun, dude. Hey, every card needs a sloppy banger like this, dude. And you know what? Like, it was a banger for Reese, not so much for Medina, but it was entertaining nonetheless.
Yeah,
I was laughing throughout the fight. Medina was laughing throughout the fight. Everybody was having a good time. Oh man! All right, we'll move on to the next one. We had Borshchev versus Llontop.
This fight was fucking awesome. On the flip side, I fucking love this fight.
I enjoyed the Reese fight more. No, I'm just kidding.
Look, Borshchev, I fucking love this guy. He is what he is. His striking is incredibly fun to watch. Mm-hmm. The takedown defense has gotten better, but it's still not quite there. Lucky for him. I think this is the first time he's fought a guy who did not shoot a takedown once in the whole fight. Questionable decision-making from Llontop. That being said...
With the tattoos or...
with everything involved.
In the fight. Okay, my bad.
But that being said, it led to a very exciting fight. So I'm glad he did it. I'm glad he didn't shoot because this fight, both these guys were trading some really cool striking. Llontop showed some deeper understanding for where he's at in his career for the striking game. Some of the stuff he was doing in the fight was super impressive at this level. This is a fun fight, a close fight. Both these guys trading shots, switching stances, finding rhythm and exploiting that from each other. Just a cool fight.
Yeah, for sure. And who was? I think it was Bisping. That was like, you can't knock out a guy with tattoos on his face.
Yeah,
like, they don't get knocked out. It's so funny, dude. But hey, Chris Tognoni. It's not a good card without Tognoni controversy, right? The eye poke, where he's like, stop.
Meanwhile, Borshchev's just getting hit still. He's like trying to go away
the
with
back of his head, dude.
He gets dropped. I don't think it was like a knockdown, but he got hit and fell down. So
Chris Tognoni, dude.
Like, bro, you gotta get in there. And I like how Brendan Fitzgerald is like, he's like, you can't just say it. And he's like yelling. He's like, hey, he can definitely hear you, man. Those are fighting words.
Hey, who would just get a stern warning from Tognoni? That's it.
Well, we didn't talk about it. But actually, was it this one? There was a fight where he walked over. He's like, I already warned you. I think it was this one.
Yes,
I already warned you. Next one's gonna be a point. Something like that.
If you already warned him,
why are we getting a second warning? I already warned you. So here's another warning. Next time, maybe there's gonna be another warning. And then the commentary team's like, yeah, you can't be reaching out with your hands like this. Like, close the fist. Like, why don't they close the fist? It's like, why would they? Yeah. They get an eye poke. It helps them. Yep. And they're not going to there's no repercussions. Why would they not do that?
Except there's for no point. Stern talking.
Yeah, no one likes to be ridiculed on live TV. But, really fun fight. I really like this fight. Borshchev gets the win. He's back in the win column. He's had a tough go in the UFC.
Yep. All right. Now, let's move over to the last one here. We had
Cong. We're skipping Nunes Cavalcanti.
Yeah. We had Wang Tong actually versus Victoria Leonardo.
Look at you with the pronunciation. Come on.
Wang Tong.
Wang Tong.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome, dude.
Dude, the Joker?
With the Joker makeup. I know I saw that and I was like, damn, Ramiro's about to have a new fan favorite.
Oh, dude, I was so happy when I saw that. I was like, hell yeah. Ganscow saying Wang is a warrior. Absolutely, dude. Also, I love how she was playing to the role too, like to the nickname.
Yeah.
When the camera was on her, she was just, dude, so much fun. So much fun.
Yeah. You know what else is fun? Women's MMA first round KOs.
Oh, fucking
awesome, dude.
Not for Leonardo.
No, but you could tell within, I think it ended 1 minute in, but you could tell within the first 30 seconds, this was not going to be a fun one for Leonardo because Wang she's just landing shots moving. Ganska says I'm talking about Andy Wang. Shout out Ultimate Fighter finale night. I want people to remember me, man. They're gonna say Andrew Wang's a warrior. Cut to PJ Penn mocking him for crying.
Oh, classic, dude.
Classic. Back when Tough was so. What is that? Tough 5, season 5.
Can't even remember. It's so
Probably
long.
probably the second best season. But yeah, this was basically a showcase for Wang Tong. You know, got the UFC debut, goes out there, hits a perfect one too. She steps in with the jab. Leonardo's like, now's my time to counter this jab. And then the 2 comes right behind it, drops the hammer on her. There's the jab, stops her dead in her tracks as she's coming in. And then the 2 behind it. And then there's a cool sequence of photos here following up from the 2. Bam. There's the follow through on the punch. Uh-oh. Bam. Fucking awesome.
Yeah. You know, it's such a good one for any like kids that are starting striking. They're like, hey, punch through your target.
Yeah,
Punch
exactly.
through.
Because you look,
Don't
if you
stop
go back
it right
2
at your
pictures,
target.
yeah, if you go back 2 pictures, you might think that punch didn't even land. One more, Rich. That one. That punch doesn't look like it landed. But if you look at where it landed, it's on the full side of her face. It wasn't a glancing shot. If you go back one more, actually.
And quite honestly, I think she was already cocking her arm back on that other picture. Because on the slow motion, when they show it, like her forearm is up to Leonardo's face because she went that far through, man. It was such a clean shot. And
that's a perfect
Leonardo
shot
on her back, and she's like, what just happened?
Yeah, Tyone jumps into side control. I think it was Tyone. Star of the night, dude.
I love it. I love it. Hey, he actually got involved in that one though, huh?
Yeah, look at him back there. Oh man, what a picture though. Look at Leonardo's eyes, dude, in that photo with Tyone on side control.
Yeah, that was
one more.
Looking off into the abyss.
Just looking over at brutal.
You did this to me.
Yeah. Did you see the post-fight interview though? Did you watch that?
Yes, and it's one of those where I'm like so sad that she doesn't speak English because you can tell that she's so good on the mic, but so much gets lost in translation, I'm sure. And like her personality is not able to come through the way that it should.
That's why you need to have guys like Frank from One translate these fighters and actually put the emotion that they put into it in the translation. Because she's like yelling about being on the. She's like, "Why am I in the first fight? You know, like I shouldn't be the first fight of the night. I should be on the main card."
And then the
translator's like, and she's yelling. She's like excited. And she drops the mic. She walks away all stoked. She's like, "Yeah, I nailed that."
Everybody's like, "What?"
Translator's like, "I don't know why I'm on the main. Why I'm not on the main card. Why am I the first fight? I need to be on the main." And you're like, you're killing it for her.
Way to kill it for your fighter, dude. Come on.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Frank's crying when Rodtank's crying. Like, come on.
I know.
We need the emotion. So you got to translate the emotion, not just the words. Shout out Frank.
Dude. All right.
But very excited. This is she beat Victoria Leonardo. You know, maybe we need to pump the brakes a little bit, but it's at 125, women's 125. Get her up there, man. She's like, I want to be on that China card. Get me on the main card in that. I'm all for it. All for it.
Yeah. And then Bisping's like, hey, let's slow down, huh? Slow it down just a bit. Wow. I was like, dude, she's pumped. Let her
be pumped, Bisping. Why are you trying to hold her down?
Yeah, man. Do we have any fights next weekend?
No, but we did.
I was just looking for that. But real quick, sorry. We have a moment of silence.
Yeah, we have a moment of silence for the fights we lost on this card. Ramaska versus Fletcher. I think that got rebooked for the next UFC event. Buzukja was originally supposed to fight Danny Silva. Sucks when your opponent falls through. Short notice comes in, beats you. That sucks. But we were supposed to have Fajeda versus Kopylov. That would have been fucking awesome, dude.
That would have been really good.
Would have been so good. Appendicitis.
Oh no.
Yeah, shit sucks, dude. I had that. Not fun. Had to get that shit pulled out. Fucking horrible. Had to spend the night in the hospital. They threatened me with a catheter. I was like 16. I was like, what the fuck, dude? No.
They're like, really?
Dude, yeah. So I'm in the I get my appendix removed. I'm in the hospital. I have to stay the night there. And they're like, also horrible. All they had on TV was that show Top Shot. And I was like, at least it's fucking gonna see some cool shooting. Horrible show. I was the commercials for it, there's like a bunch of like cool trick shots where they like shoot a rope from like like something's hanging from like a rope and they shoot the rope from like 100 yards and you're like, damn, that's fucking cool. The show itself, horrible. It's like it's like Ultimate Fighter where they actually showed them in the house and there's like drama between the contestants and I was like, what the fuck? But it was the only thing that was on and I couldn't sleep. But anyways, I get back to my bed and I'm like all fucked up, right? And like a nurse comes in, she's like, hey, have you peed yet? Or have you like gone to the bathroom since the surgery? And I was like, no, I haven't had to. And she's like, okay. She leaves. She comes back in like 10 minutes and she's like, have you peed yet? And I was like, no, I don't have to. And she's like, if you don't, we're going to have to put a catheter in. And I was like, what the fuck? I didn't know I was like
on a timer?
I didn't know that was like a task I needed to complete. You never told me like, hey, pee. Otherwise, like what the fuck? I didn't realize. And then she came back again. She's like, we got to make it happen. And I was like, dude, I'm fucking 16. That's like the scariest thing you could threaten me with.
Yeah. Like, don't touch me, lady.
Yeah. Stay away.
Don't even look at me.
Back up.
Yeah. Classic. Yeah. All right. Well, did we have any bonuses?
Yes, we did have some bonuses. Michael Morales got one for passing through the gate that is Neil Magny.
Nice.
I think, Meerschaert got one for his calling ambulance, but not for me.
Yes.
Well deserved. Fight of the night. Cannonier versus Borralho got fight of the night. Very good fight. 50K for
Nothing
both
for
of those.
My boy Reese.
Nothing for Wang Tong. Which is crazy to me. That should get a bonus. But I want to give our first ever story of the fight bonus to ESPN Plus for not only doing commercials in the commercial break. They were doing this. Fantastic. I would much rather look at this instead of the Burger King commercial with their song 10 fucking times. Shout out Blunderbub says late to the show, but making sure to pop on and say that Medina is the people's champ.
Yes.
Brutal. That must have been a tough night for you then.
No, thank you. There's somebody else that enjoyed that fight. Thank you, Blunderbub. I appreciate it. But I thoroughly enjoyed Reese versus Medina. Will was hating on it. He doesn't see the potential in Reese, and he doesn't see how fun Medina was during the fight. So, but yeah, hey, next week, what do we got going on next week? Do we have anything?
Next week, there are no fights. There's a contender series on Tuesday. We maybe just want to do a preview for 168 because that's the week after.
Okay.
And we will be there.
Ooh, we will be there. Super excited for it. But yeah, what are we gonna have on that fight again? We're gonna have Haggerty versus Superlick.
I mean, what the fuck, dude? What a fight!
Come on, Bertolo versus Musumeci.
Come on,
what?
Liam Harrison versus Sexton. Lineker versus a Bevy versus Mamedov. I mean, come on. This is a great. Adrian Lee's back. Johan Ghazali's back. Sean Climaco from San Jose, the boy against a Stupinan. That's fucking awesome. Onglan Song is back. Tezuka's back. I mean, come on, dude. What a card.
Wow. Dude, looking forward to this, man. Looking forward to this. And to your point, again, we're going to be there, everybody. We will be there. We'll be covering. Yeah, we'll have some coverage. We'll try to put a video together for everybody, right? Just showing the one experience. But really looking forward to it.
Yeah, should be fun. We're gonna bring cameras.
Did you talk about the Goofy movie music? Thank you. Let's go. Wonderful. We were talking about it earlier. We were talking about the Disney music, and I said I'm pretty sure that song's from the Goofy movie. And was like, I haven't seen it in so long, but I'm glad somebody else came on and confirmed that was indeed from the Goofy movie.
Hilarious, dude.
Fantastic. Ganskow saying, I'll be there. He'll be there at 1. Yeah. That should be a lot of fun. But yeah, do we have anything else to cover, Will?
No, I think that's it for this week.
That's it for this week. Well, hey, shout out to Blunderbub. Thank you for joining us. Shout out Ganskow. We know that whenever y'all join us live, podcast is so much better. It's so much fun. So thank you for joining us. And for anybody else that might be joining us for the first time, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. It goes a long way. Blunderbub is confirming it was Eye to Eye, the song that was playing. Phenomenal Goofy movie knowledge by Blunderbub. Fantastic. And yes, Will, can they find us anywhere else for Disney movie music?
Yeah, storythefight.com will list all of our socials: Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Reddit. We're on Twitch, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube Podcasts, anywhere podcasts are found. Story of the Fight, all the social medias. We're on Blue Sky. We're on
Blue
Vero.
Sky?
We're
What the
on
hell's Blue Sky?
we're on Mastodon. We're on everything.
Is
Story
that
of the Fight
real?
on everything.
Are you making
That's
up
all
words
real.
right now?
It's all real, man. I had to claim it on everything. I had to make sure. No imposters.
Oh my god. That's wow. Well, I gotta hop on some of these.
Yeah, we don't use them.
I was gonna say, who even posts on them?
I don't even know.
All right. Well, hey, everybody might be wondering, they're really bad at socials, but they're really good at producing this show. Who's the producer? That's none other than Richard Bustos, everybody. There we go. Thanks for joining us for another week of Story of the Fight. Ganskow's asking if we're on Truth. What is that?